Welcome to HHN Squad's Updating the Fear Podcast, Episode 1, your number one place to find all things Halloween Horror Nights, created by fans for fans. This is our first podcast ever, and we will include topics surrounding horror nights, and we will answer some of your Twitter questions. We are coming to you live on Thursday, June 16th at 7 o'clock. We would like to start off by introducing our amazing panel this evening. We have Creepy Carpy,
I saw it, dude.
Clarence,
What's up?
HHN Meatloaf,
Hey,
and I am the PMV Productions, also known as Casey Likes. And so we're going to get straight into some topics today. All right, so let's find those. Okay, so our first topic today is we're going to all introduce ourselves. Considering this is our first podcast, we would like everybody to introduce themselves and talk about their interests and how they got interested in the HHN Squad. So let's start off with Creepy Carpy.
1 second, I'm eating a Hot Pocket right now.
All right, okay, let's go on to Clarence.
Alright, so I just recently joined a day or two ago, well, 2 days ago, and I'm excited to be joining this. I used to be an updater on YouTube called HHN Nightmare, but now I do like skit videos and all that, and I enjoy going to theme parks.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to HHN Meatloaf.
I'm HHN Meatloaf, also known as Gus. I got into the HHN Squad about a week ago, I think, when it all first started. I do top 10 lists, movie reviews, and a lot of stuff is coming up on my channel in HHN Squad, and yeah, that's me.
And all right, so Alvin is talking right now, so I'll just go ahead and say I'm Casey from the PMV Productions. I've been doing filmmaking and haunt videos on my channel for a while now. I recently started updating this year and have really fallen in love with the process, so I've been updating a lot lately. So, and yeah, I'm very proud to be part of the squad. All right, so next topic we're going to talk about construction today, and let's talk about the first most obvious construction updates with Jurassic Park. And right now there is a lot of construction in the Jurassic Park queue, the Jurassic Park overflow queue, that is, and there have been a lot of rumors surrounding it. There have been rumors from Freddy vs. Jason to Krampus to Halloween 2, and there's just a lot of speculation going around about the Jurassic Park queue. So let's start with who would like to start first on their speculations on the Jurassic Park queue.
I'll go if nobody's going to go. So I have like about 3 things up in the air. There's Freddy vs. Jason, which is the least likely in my opinion. And then the most likely for me is either Krampus or Conjuring. Krampus because the architecture is very similar to the house in Krampus, and Conjuring because it's also very similar. And it's hard to tell between the two because Krampus just came out last year in December, and Conjuring just came out about a week ago. So the licenses are very fresh and new, so they're both up in the air for me right now.
Yeah, I personally believe that I was very set. If you guys have seen my latest video, you would know that I was very set on Krampus, and I was pretty much just gonna stop updating on it because I thought I knew it was Krampus. But then John Murdy, the creative director of Halloween Horror Nights, if you guys didn't know, he tweeted out that all of our speculations were wrong. And I think all of us were really shocked at that because the house from Krampus does look pretty much identical to the outline of the structure that they have for the facade of the maze that they have there now. So I don't know what to think now, but we've been talking as a squad about what it could possibly be, and Jose from Thrill Seeker Network will be joining us later. He said that it could possibly be Halloween 2. And this also makes sense because John Murdy said in a big event, I forgot where it was. Was it Scare LA? It might have been Scare LA, but
I
he
believe it
said,
was Scarlet, yeah.
yeah, it was Scare LA, and he said that he would definitely take into account the possibility of a Halloween 2 maze. So at this point, that's our best bet if Krampus is not going to be coming to the event. It could be coming to the event, but just at this point, he's basically confirmed that we are not getting it in Jurassic Park. All right, so Clarence, would you like to talk about that?
What like could be there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with Meatloaf. It could be The Conjuring or Krampus because of the way it looks. Looks kind of like one of those houses. I haven't really been keeping up with the stuff lately right now, but
All right.
The facade kind of looks like it could be one of those two.
Awesome. Yep. All right. Okay. What is our next topic? We have.
Construction also has begun on Exorcist. I don't know if it's really everybody kind of knows about it by now, but yeah.
I mean, there's not much we can really update on that because first of all, we already know what we already know the mummy queue is going to be taken up by the Exorcist, and there's not much to update because there's not really anywhere we can see. We can't really see what construction is going on. We can't see the facade very well because there are gates in front of it. The only real place we can see any construction is going down the escalators to the lower lot. And even then, all we can see is a big black tent, which we can also talk about because I believe they used to have just like sheets over everything, like some of those big tarps hung from the like sides of the walls. But now they have a big tent there, which I guess is something to update. Oh, we have Thrill Seeker Network here. So welcome, Jose.
See your beautiful face, man.
All right. So next, would anybody have any more comments on the Jurassic Park queue? No. Alrighty then. Okay, so speculations. We're gonna go down the line and talk about our speculations for the event. Talk about either code names, hints, anything that we could speculate could be coming to the event, and this could be absolutely anything. So let's start with Jose since he just got here.
Alright, so regarding this year's event, like we know, we have The Exorcist so far. Properties that I think we're almost 99% sure will be coming to the event this year. Krampus and Freddy vs. Jason, two properties that have been heavily rumored and look like might actually end up being a part of the event. There's also some speculation being thrown around that we may be seeing The Conjuring or American Horror Story, which could also be pretty interesting. But for right now, I can just say that I'm pretty darn sure that the two we're going to be getting is Krampus and Freddy vs. Jason.
All right, those are two very rumored properties, so I would definitely believe that. All right, who would like to go next on speculations?
I'll go if nobody else is going to go. I believe for sure that we're most likely going to get a purge something. I highly doubt a maze, but I'm predicting either a tram or scare zone because election year is coming out this year, and it's just easy and pretty cheap for them to do, and the property is coming out this year, so yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I would personally really, really like the Purge to come as a maze. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get it, but I do think a scare zone is a huge possibility at this point because of the new movie that is coming out. I think all of us were a little shocked to hear that the Terror Tram is going to be original this year. That's a little surprising, especially when we've had the success of the Purge last year in the Terror Tram. So, yeah, for scare zones, I think Purge will be another scare zone. Hopefully back again in the backlot, because that was really, really cool last year. And Krampus, I don't know what to think, because like, would they do something that has such a similar facade for two different mazes? Like Halloween and Krampus have two very, very similar facades in the way they're laid out. But then again, it could be anything. So
I believe if they did do Krampus and Halloween, that they would look very not similar. In the end, they'd probably paint it and just have a very different final product from the architecture underneath.
yeah, and another thing that people have been talking about is how the design for the Jurassic Park queue is very similar to the American Werewolf in London, where they have puppetry doors and doors where the puppeteers come in and have the puppets and everything. And I think that's really interesting, because I think the only property that we've been really rumoring that could have so many puppets in it is Krampus, and that happens to be the same maze that we originally rumored was Krampus. So I don't know if Murdy's just doing some sick, twisted way of wording things differently, where he didn't actually say what was wrong and stuff. But I'm still sticking with either Krampus or Halloween 2 for the Jurassic Park queue. And I know that's more speculation on construction, but that's really all we can work off right now of what's construction we can see. So, Clarence or Alvin, would you like to go next? Oh,
I honestly have no ideas other than Freddy versus Jason, because that's kind of obvious.
where do you think we could get Freddy versus Jason?
I'm really hoping. Someone said that Stage 28 is going to be used as a maze location, so I'm hoping it might be there.
That would be cool, because they could put a
Oh, whoops.
lot in there, obviously. Alright, let's find a new topic. Any last comments about speculations for this year's event, for the Terror Tram, the mazes, the scare zones, anything?
Well,
Well,
for
I'm
Terror
looking
Tram,
at. Oh, no, it's okay. You could go first.
Alright, so for Terror Tram, he's been saying that it's going to be kind of like he's been toying around with the idea of an original concept for the Terror Tram, so that can be something pretty interesting to see. There's also been some rumors that it could just end up being the Purge again. The Purge, like you guys mentioned, is going to be present at the event in any capacity. It's either going to be a scare zone or it's going to be the Terror Tram again. But just the idea that he's toying with a new way to incorporate the Terror Tram into the event that may not necessarily be IP centered is something that could be really cool, and it's something that honestly could be really interesting and fresh to see at the event. So that's also something very key to look forward to this year.
Yeah. I also threw around the idea of what if, I mean, I don't know if this could actually happen, but what if when he says it's going to be original Terror Tram, what if it's just like The Purge, but not based around any of the movies, just like The Purge in the backlot with their own characters and their own things, like the movie villains have come out to purge, just something along the lines of that, because I'm really disappointed. I mean, I haven't seen it, and I bet he's gonna do something really great with an original property. I mean, original idea. But I'm kind of disappointed that we don't get to see where he could have gone with The Purge. But then again, we don't know. There's been ideas thrown around about Texas Chainsaw, the Elgin, or I think that's his name, and stuff like that, which is a possibility. I just think it's kind of unlikely. So, yeah. All right. Any last comments?
So there's some speculation going on in the comments right now about some monkey demon maze. You guys think that's a possibility? All right, continue.
A what? A monkey demon maze? Did I hear
No,
that?
just look at the YouTube comments right
Yeah, we
now.
got some monkey demon maze, guys.
Monkey demons right now, right next to the Shrek maze. It could
Yeah,
it
I
could be a
believe we will get a
possibility.
Monkey Demon Maze this year at the event.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
All right. Well,
Five Nights at Freddy's 3D
okay.
as well.
Well, now that we're on that topic, before we move on to our next topic, I would like to let you all know that you guys can tweet out questions while we are live, and you can comment questions. Alvin will be checking the YouTube questions, and I personally will be checking the Twitter questions. So go ahead and tweet at HHN Squad, and we will answer your questions live on the air as long as they're appropriate. Obviously, yeah. All right, so this is another huge thing we could talk about: leaked supposed lineup. So a few, I think last week, there was a supposed leaked lineup of the entire event. Now, we talked about this a lot, and I think all of us have come to the conclusion, except for Clarence. We haven't really talked to Clarence about it yet, considering he is new, but all of us have pretty much come to the conclusion that it's fake. Now, let's get into why that could be, and let's start with whoever wants to talk about it first.
Pepper, before we say it's fake, I'd like to note out that the guy that leaked this lineup, the 2016, also leaked the 2015 lineup, which was pretty correct.
Yeah, that's true. It's just the one problem is, like, out of all the properties on there, and if Murdy is actually talking about how Jurassic Park is not Krampus and he's not just wording things wrong, then I couldn't see any of the other properties on there being in the Jurassic Park queue. That's the one thing that's making me say it could be fake. Otherwise, all those properties look very possible, except for Scream and Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, so should we just go down the line of the mazes and talk about them, or
Yeah.
do we want to focus on certain ones, or?
Yeah, let's go down the line. Does anybody have the list up right now? No? All right.
I think I'm getting it right now.
Okay, while you pull that up, let's have someone talk about the one. We know that Freddy vs. Jason and The Conjuring and Krampus were on that. Those were on that list. So, does anybody want to talk about that?
Clarence or Alvin, you haven't said a lot. Do you want to try talking about that while we get up the list?
All right, I don't know where they're at right now, so I guess I will just talk about it. Conjuring and Krampus are definitely very plausible to come to the event. It's just Conjuring, I have a problem with. I haven't seen the second film. I don't know if any of you guys have, but the first film, from what I have seen of it, just does not make sense in a walkthrough attraction to me. There's just not enough there. But then again, we've also had The Exorcist announced, which is something that would be very hard to do considering it's children and in one room. So, I don't know.
I've actually seen the sequel. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go.
Alright, so I've actually seen the sequel for The Conjuring, and like you said, for the first one, there's really not that much that they can work off, since there's not that many characters they can really recreate, and it all just takes place in the house. But with the second one, there's definitely a lot more scenes they can recreate, a whole bunch more characters that they can incorporate into the maze. Just the nun itself, the main demon from the film, is a very creepy character that they could recreate very well into the maze. The Crooked Man is a character that could be very intimidating to see in the house as well. So there is enough material to create a house off The Conjuring, but it would be very heavily based off the second one that they actually went through with the see in the house as well. So there is enough material to create a house off The Conjuring, but it would be very heavily based off the second.
Could you mute your microphone? We're getting some echo, Casey.
So there is enough material to create a house off The Conjuring, but it would be very heavily based off the second.
Casey.
Could you?
All right, so I think Alvin has the list right now. So
Yes,
let's
I
go.
have the list. All right. So going down the line, we have Krampus, Freddy versus Jason, American Horror Story, The Exorcist, Walking Dead,
Here, can we do
Conjuring,
one at a time?
Scream.
If it's okay.
Wait, what?
If we can just do like one at a time and just talk about each one.
Yeah,
If that's
All right.
okay.
Should I start over?
No, it's
All right,
okay.
so we
Yeah,
have
sorry.
Krampus. Krampus, guys.
all right. So Krampus, I think we've talked about that enough. I think personally, I think it'll be kind of the event. I just don't know where. And if Murdy is not playing around with words, then it's not coming to Jurassic Park Q.
Yeah, for me it's just Krampus or Conjuring for me. But yeah, what else we got?
We have Freddy versus Jason.
This I also think could fit in JPQ, but it just doesn't work quite as well as Krampus or Conjuring with like fresh licenses, and it just seems like it's way too difficult to happen.
Yeah. I mean, Freddy versus Jason, I don't know what the facade would look like for that one. And that one, I think it's really going to come, especially with Murdy meeting with Mike Aiello from Halloween Horror Nights Orlando. I think they are sharing that property from last year, from its success in Orlando last year, but I just don't know where it would go. I don't think it's going to go in the Jurassic Park queue.
Yeah, yeah. What else do we have?
Then we have American Horror Story. Gonna get that Lady Gaga go-go dancer.
Oh yeah, that would make sense, to be honest. That would be the one with the go-go dancers, because there's always like that one maze that has the go-go dancers either inside or standing right outside of it.
I can see it happening, but I do not want to see it happen at all. I just don't think it's like scary enough as a show to like be a maze. I just think it's like freaky and stuff, but it's not as scary, if you get what I mean. It's yeah.
Really? Huh. I mean, I think my thing is that I don't think it's that they can't do it. I think they really can do it, especially after This Is the End. No matter what your opinions on it, they still did make a maze for This Is the End. And I think they could make it. It's just I don't know how. It's a lot of seasons and a lot of content to go through, and it would be really different because there are so many different themes. It would you'd be jumping from one theme to another. So, anybody else have some thoughts on that? Jose, Clarence, Alvin.
American Horror Story, the thing with it is that they could either have it based off one season or have it based all of them. But from what the guy said in the supposed leaked lineup is that this is between this and Freddy vs. Jason to be a mega house at the event, just like Walking Dead was last year. So if it ends up being like true that this is actually going to be a house, and if it's a mega house, they probably would want to do like like parts from every season of the show. But it would be kind of confusing just to a regular guest point of view, just to be seen.
Yeah, yeah.
And there goes Jose.
We may have some technical difficulties right now with Jose, but he'll be coming back.
Yep. Well, those were some good comments from Jose. Would Clarence or Alvin have any comments about American Horror Story?
Yeah, I don't really have any opinions on American Horror Story since I've never seen it, but all I've heard from it is Twisty the Clown, which I'd really like to see as a scare actor, whether it be mask or makeup, and that one weird Spike rapey scene, which I do not want to see at all.
All right. Yep, I got that. All right, I think we have Jose back. Do we have him back? Yes, we do. All
Yeah,
right.
so So, like I
That's
was saying, it could be pretty confusing for guests to start off at the murder house from season one and have kind of like this weird ghost element and end up in a completely different theme with like the freak show from season four, I believe, and then have like the witches in the middle. It could be overall very confusing if they decide to go and base it off every season of the show. Personally, myself, I would love to see an American Horror Story maze based off the freak show or Asylum season. Those are two seasons that have characters that could easily be recreated and scenes that could easily be recreated as well. But if they end up basing it off every season of the show, like I said, it could be pretty confusing to some guests, and it might not end up working. But we'll just see if they actually do this, how they pull it off.
all right. And Clarence? All right, looks like we don't have Clarence with us right now, so we're
He'll
going
be
to move on.
joining us soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have to move on to the next topic. All right, so we're going to move on to questions right now. We asked you these questions through Twitter and YouTube, and we're going to answer them. So if you haven't asked your questions, please ask them right now through either at HHN Squad on Twitter or through YouTube. So we have about 4 right now that we had asked beforehand, and we're going to get into the YouTube and Twitter questions right after these. So, first question comes from Beauty Monsters on Twitter. What old maze do you hope to see return? So, would anybody like to go first on that one?
There's many I'd like to see return, but I feel like would never happen. I would love to see Silent Hill return, but with in case you didn't know, the Norman Reedus game was canceled by Sony, so I feel like that license is kind of dead right now. But I would personally love to see that return.
All right. Jose, would you like to go?
All right, me myself personally, a maze I would really love to see return is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre maze that they had back in 2007 and 2008. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre all time. I feel like they really didn't do justice with the maze back in 2012. So I would like to see the incarnation they did based on the remake in 2007 and 2008, especially since many claim it to be the scariest maze of all time. So that's just personally myself. I would love to see how they pulled that maze off back then and actually look at how it stands up compared to most of the mazes we have now.
Yeah, it was a very good maze from the POVs I've seen. I didn't get the chance to walk through, but it did look really good. Personally, I would like to see a sequel to El Kukui, and the reason I say this is because it's a very nostalgic maze of mine, and I think it's something we could really dive into more. We saw, oh gosh, I don't know if I can pronounce this right. Jose, can you do this for me? La la la.
Bye,
Why? Okay, there, that one, and I think it was cool seeing the sequel to that maze. It was both of them were really good, and I would like to see a really another good sequel to El Kukui because it was a good maze, and I mean I don't know if I would want it to be brought back the exact same as it was in 2013, but maybe just a little bit different. So that's mine. Anybody else?
Well, there are a lot of great mazes I'd like to see come back, like Saw, Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses 3D,
Mm.
you know, even La Llorona. But like the one maze, I know people are gonna get mad at me for saying this, but the one maze I actually want to see return is This Is the End. Not exactly the same, but actually done right and make it actually look and feel like the movie, because last year it was more focused on the 3D aspect, which they didn't pull off correctly. I mean, it was all just bright walls and just paintings. I mean, I honestly I did like the ideas of the painting, but it just didn't seem like it was pulled off right. So I don't know. I'd like to see This Is the End return with more scare actors, because throughout the maze, you only saw one demon scare actor, which wasn't even in the movie. It was rejected from the movie. I mean, there were more monsters that were rejected from the movie that they didn't even use. But you know, yeah, that's just my opinion. So that's one maze I'd like to see come back, but actually done right.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Um, Jose, would you like to go next?
I just went. So
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. All right, so we have our next question.
Clarence.
Clarence.
Clarence is not with us right now. He's somewhere else. He'll be back in a little bit.
I'm here.
Oh, he's back. He's back now. All right, Clarence, go next, please.
I'd like to see either House of a Thousand Corpses or the Nightmare on Elm Street, like from 2010, because both those mazes were my first experience for Horror Nights, and I don't really remember Nightmare on Elm Street as well, but I did kind of like House of a Thousand Corpses back then.
All right. Awesome. I really liked. As much as I'm glad to see Rob Zombie with his own haunt event, the Rob Zombie mazes have been really good at Halloween Horror Nights. All right. So we're going to move on to our next question. And that is from Taylor Lewis on Twitter. So this is a question that we've all thought through really hard, and this is everyone's top 5 mazes of all time at HHN. Okay, so I have my own list, and would anybody like to go first?
You can go first if you want. I don't mind.
Yeah, you can go ahead and go first.
Okay, so I made an entire video on this because it was a good question. I really enjoyed it. But my top 5, number 5 has to be Silent Hill. I talked about it earlier a little bit. It's probably my favorite horror gaming franchise of all time. And I never actually got to go into it, but I saw many POVs and behind the scenes online, and it is one of the things that really got me interested in Horror Nights. And yeah, 4 for me has to be Dracula Untold. I saw the movie and it got a lot of hate, but personally I liked it. The maze wasn't very similar to the movie, but the cave and the village with everybody running around was really cool and pretty well done and scary, so I really enjoyed it. 3 for me is Insidious because I'm a pretty big Insidious fan, and I thought they really well evenly mixed all the movies together in one maze, and I love the mirrors at the end where they took all the characters from all the movies and had them all together. 2 for me has to be the Face Off maze. I loved it because of how long it was. I loved seeing all the different classic horror villains with like different twists on them, and the makeup was incredible, of course, because it was Face Off. Um, I thought that was just a really well done maze. And number 1 for me is An American Werewolf in London. Obviously, because of my name, Meatloaf, and my profile picture, I'm a huge fan. Rick Baker's an incredible makeup artist, and I can't believe for his age that he's still doing it. He's so respectable for his art, and yeah, I thought it was really well done with all the puppets. I think there were 3 in there. Um, Alvin talked about it earlier, just how incredible it is too. Um, yeah, that's my top 5.
Awesome. Great list. I'm going to go ahead and jump in while everybody else is getting ready. All right, so my number 5 would be Walking Dead, Wolves Not Far. It was last year's version of the Walking Dead maze. We've been having it for 4 years. We've had 4 different Walking Dead mazes, and we're having a permanent attraction coming this July 4th. and I'm excited for that. Walking Dead Wolves Not Far was the first maze I've actually physically gone through at Halloween Horror Nights. I've been following the event for 5 years through POVs and stuff, and I pretty much watch a POV like a lot. So I don't know how I could say it, but like I watch a lot of POVs and I end up watching them over and over again. But I'm sidetracking. Anyway, Walking Dead Wolves Not Far was, people were worried that it would be too long and it would be too boring, and personally I thought it was perfect. It was themed out everywhere. It was just, and it had all the best moments from the show. I really liked this maze, and I thought it was a good way to go out with the Halloween Horror Nights mazes with The Walking Dead. All right, number 4 is Halloween Michael Myers Comes Home. This was also last year's Halloween. There was also one in 2009. Yes, 2009, and that one was Halloween Michael Myers, the life and crimes of Michael Myers. I loved that one too, but I think Halloween Michael Myers Comes Home was more true to the film. I thought it was a really good maze. It was scary. It was themed. And I really like the Halloween franchise, so it was a really good addition to last year's lineup. Number 3 is El Cucuy. I already talked about that. It's very nostalgic because 2013 was the year that I really got into speculating and updating and watching updaters. I started watching some other updaters that we can shout out later on our Twitter, and then it's just some more people. So I watched them, and they talked about El Cucuy, and I really liked it. The POV was great, and the behind-the-scenes videos were great, so I really got into that one. Number 2 is American Werewolf in London. That was a great maze. It was very themed. I loved the puppets in it. It was just another one that went into the Jurassic Park queue. That was amazing. And my number 1 is AVP Alien vs. Predator. It was really, really themed everywhere. It was really exciting. It had a lot of effects put into it. It was obvious that they put a lot of time and effort into this maze, and I love that. And it was also great in a soundstage. All right, so we have Clarence and actually we have a few people left. So whoever would like to go next with their top 5 list can go ahead.
All right, I already have my top 5 list up. So my because I've only been going to HHN since 2012, so don't get mad at me if my maze list is crap. But number 5 is, I actually have my top 10 list, but I'm just gonna go off with my top 5. Number 5 is Halloween Michael Myers Comes Home. It did a great job translating the movie into a maze. I don't think it did as well as 2009 did, but it was great seeing the scenes played out. I forgot her name, but the girl getting choked with the telephone, and just that part where Michael Myers is, I don't know what they're called, but they're like sheets, and then you have to get passed through them, and then he's just like right there. That part really scared me. It was the only maze in 2015 that actually scared the crap out of me. So yeah, number 4, An American Werewolf in London. Halloween did a great job translating the movie into a maze, but An American Werewolf in London did better. It looked like the sets were straight from the movie, and you were actually in the scenes, like the werewolf Nazi part where the shooting of David's family, and David's transformation scene. David's transformation scene. When I went in the maze, I got really excited. The people in front of me were looking at me weird, but it was worth it. Like they just did it so well. Like I knew this maze did way better than Orlando's, even though Orlando's has better sets and stuff. Right when you went outside the house and looked into the window and you see David with his hands as a werewolf, like, I don't know, it just got me really excited and happy. The werewolf puppets, though, they were not as good as the Orlando puppets, but it was great seeing them in person. Number 3 is El Cacoy the Boogeyman, like Casey's list. El Cacoy was a really creepy maze. Um, it was pretty dark seeing the children becoming the pumpkins and then El Cacoy just eating them at the end. It's just great. The theater scene in the beginning was also great, where you saw John Murray cameo in the film. I think there was a part where you went into a dark hallway, and then someone with a flashlight just shines it at their face. That scared the crap out of me. As well as the bedroom scene where you see his hand under the bed lighting up. It was just a great maze, and really did great translating the legend into a maze itself, especially with the cave facade and, you know, yeah. Number 2 is Dracula Untold, also a maze that took place in the Persian courtyard. Like Gus said, I think it wasn't like the movie, but it was one of those mazes that actually did better than the maze. I mean, the maze did better than the movie itself. I mean, I don't know, but like the maze had more horror aspects than the movie, and it was just creepy right from that cave scene. I had to go first the first time I went in this maze. I had to get in front, and it scared me because that creepy cave scene where you see the master vampire just popping out of the cave windows and stuff. Not cave windows, just the cave holes and stuff like that. Also had the dark hallway where you felt your legs being brushed, and that scared me. The um, the witch in the closet, that was one of the best scares I've ever seen. I don't know. It was just unexpected, even though you were kind of expecting it. Like, yeah. And number 1 pick is also another maze based on a legend, but it's more classic. La Llorona Windbreaker Children in 2012, the sequel to the original La Llorona maze. It was the third maze I've ever been in, and it was creepy. It was immersive, like the children catacomb scene where you see like the children's corpses, skeletons on the walls and stuff like that. You could hear the cockroaches in the wall. It was just scary. And the bridge scene where you saw the children just drowning, like it was a great maze. There was a lot of things to look at, a lot of things to be scared by. Yeah, that's my top 5 lists. Clarence.
All right. Mine's number 5 is The Walking Dead. Number 4 is The Walking Dead. No, I'm just kidding. So number 5 for me is most likely Black Sabbath. I just liked how vibrant it was. I don't know. Like, it's my opinion on it. And then number 4 would have to be let's see. There's like tie on these 4. I don't know, Walking Dead from 2012, because that's when it really now its role. Like, I loved the first season of it, how they recreated that whole scene when I was a big Walking Dead fan back then. I don't really watch it as much now. Number 3 would have to be Alien versus Predator. I just liked how much detail they added into it. They repeated it 2 times, 2014, 2015. And number 2 would have to be Halloween. I liked how they recreated the movie in a way. Like, there's some scenes that were just there, and there's some black walls, but whatever. I still liked it. And number 1 was Insidious, because I got terrified throughout that maze the most.
Awesome. And that was your whole list, right?
Alright, so I guess I'll go now.
Yep.
Alright, so my number 5, I have Friday the 13th from 2010, which is the only Friday the 13th maze I saw. Now, this maze was based off the remake, not the original Friday the 13th films, but just basing off the remake. It looked pretty darn close to as close as you can get as going into Camp Crystal Lake and coming face to face with Jason Voorhees himself. The maze was extremely detailed. It really felt like you were in Camp Crystal Lake. The Jason costumes were absolutely incredible. They casted some big menacing guys to play Jason Voorhees, and it was very scary at parts and very cool to walk through. And at my number four, I have the Thing Assimilation, which we had back in 2011, which was a maze that was very effects heavy. It was one of the first very effects heavy mazes we saw at the event, and I personally thought they pulled it off very, very well. The makeup was on point. The way that they actually interpreted the thing was actually pretty darn cool, and it was pretty darn scary at certain parts. And I just overall really liked the sets, and like I said, the special effects were absolutely incredible. And so at my number three, I have La Llorona from 2012, the sequel, which I thought was a step forward from the previous maze we had in 2011. Although the maze was pretty darn good in 2011, I feel like in 2012 they just really amped it up and made it scarier and more detailed and stuff. Being Latino, I grew up with like La Llorona and stuff, so this maze was kind of disturbing to me at parts, like in the part where you walk through the river and you see the children drowning and stuff, or like when she's eating the girl at the end. It was pretty disturbing to walk through it, but I really enjoyed it. My number two, give me a second. All right, sorry about that. My number two is Insidious, the maze we had last year. The 2000, I think it was 2013 maze we had on Insidious, which was the first one, was just okay. I did have a lot of problems with it, especially regarding the further scenes, but last year's maze we had was actually very creative scare-wise, and it was really one of the scariest mazes I've walked through at Halloween Horror Nights, and that was really a plus. The sets were pretty darn cool. I like the way they incorporated all three films into one maze. And like I said, the real highlight of this maze were the scares, which were amazing and on point. My number one is Halloween from 2009, the first Halloween maze, not the one we had last year. Now, I felt like this maze was very much more true to the film than the one we had last year. It looked very, very close to what the film looked like, and the scares that they had in here were again very classic to what they showed up in a manner of how they did in the film. And overall, I just really enjoyed this. This was like the first maze I walked through at the event ever, and it was really like walking through the film screen and walking through Halloween. So I personally really liked that maze over the one we had last year. So that's going to be my top five mazes for the event.
All right, that's great, and I think this time I'm not forgetting anybody. We have gone through everybody.
We actually just got one more question from Behind the Horror. Would you like to see Evil Dead come back?
I think maybe Evil Dead as maybe Ash versus Evil Dead.
I think that's possible too, yeah.
Yeah. Probably, to be honest, I mean, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I am not a huge fan of Evil Dead. And I think it would be interesting to see Ash versus Evil Dead. I just personally am not a huge fan of Evil Dead in the franchise. So yeah, it would be fun to go through just as another gory maze. But personally, I don't have huge opinions on it, so I'll leave that up to you guys.
I haven't seen it. I've been really wanting to see it, but my cable doesn't carry the channel. But from what I've heard, it's more comedy influence, which is like the movies. But I think it would be cool to see kind of like a more comedy influenced maze while still having the comedic violence and gore of normal Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd honestly like not like an Ash versus Evil Dead maze, but an Evil Dead maze with all three movies, maybe even the remake in it, just to promote Ash Evil Dead. Like have Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Ash. I mean, no, I mean Army of Darkness and one maze. Like, yeah, I don't know. And have like all the iconic scenes put into it. Maybe even like the scene where the inanimate objects just start laughing, and Ash is for some reason laughing with them as well.
All right. Okay. Anybody else want to talk about Evil Dead?
Yeah, Evil Dead would be pretty cool to see again at the event. Ash vs. Evil Dead is a property that could be coming to the event real soon, and is a property I would really like to see at the event. It has a lot of sets they can recreate, a lot of characters, and it just has a very comedic feel, which they could incorporate into the maze, and it could be a really solid comedy house if they tried, unlike This Is the End. So, honestly, Ash vs. Evil Dead, I would be fine with it coming to the event. I would like to see Army of Darkness, which would be another very interesting maze to see at the event, or any of the classic Evil Dead films would actually also work very well into a maze and would be something that I would really like to see.
All right. And Clarence, you have any comments on that?
I have not seen the show Ash vs. the Evil Dead. I'll probably check that out during the week. But I would like to see Army of Darkness or the first Evil Dead like come to life.
All right. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we have a few more questions. Sorry,
Yeah.
Gus?
Oh, you can say it if you want. I think you were talking about it.
Yeah, we have one more question that has come from Twitter. Then we're gonna move on with our other questions, and you can continue to ask us questions at HHN Squad on Twitter. And also, while you're there, you should probably follow us because we get you the news as fast as we possibly can on all things Halloween Horror Nights. So you guys should totally check us out. All right, so our question comes from Haunt Justin 12 or Justine, depending on how you pronounce your name. This is at HHN Squad. What's your thoughts on American Horror Story rumored to come to the event, and would you want it to come to the event? So not everybody was here to answer those questions. So Gus and I have already talked about that. Clarence and Jose, would you like to talk about that?
Okay, so American Horror Story coming to the event. Like I said previously, I would be fine with them doing it. They could be basing it off all the seasons of the show or just a certain season of the show. I personally would love to see season 2 or the Freak Show season, which could actually lend itself to be very well into a maze. But either way, I think I'm okay with American Horror Story coming to the event. I'm not the biggest fan of the show. I stopped watching after Freak Show ended, so I'm not really caught up on it. But I would be okay with it coming to the event. It could be something fresh and original to see after seeing The Walking Dead at the event present every single year. So I'm okay with American Horror Story being at the event.
I actually have not seen season 3 with the witches, I believe, but I have seen all the other seasons 1 to 5. I would like to see Freak Show. Hotel would be like kind of weird, but might as well give it a try. Or I don't know if they would be colliding all the seasons together, which would be kind of, I don't know how that would be in the end. Probably not too well. It would be kind of short. But even though I would like to see Asylum, the clown one, Freak Show, or the Murder House.
All right, awesome. Okay, so we're gonna continue on with our previously thought up questions. So we're gonna continue with Jove Joe. This is also at Coaster Cruiser on Twitter. And he said, how many scare zones and mazes are we getting this year? And the other question he asked is one we'll answer next. But right now are our opinions on how many scare zones and mazes we're going to get this year.
Most likely 6 or 7, not including the terror tram. But yeah, that's how many.
I say honestly, we're not getting less than 6. I don't think we're gonna go back down to 5. We had 6 mazes last year, so personally, I think we have 6 mazes, including The Walking Dead, which that would make it 7. Or we have 7 mazes, which would make it 8 with The Walking Dead. But I personally, myself, I believe we're gonna end up having 6 mazes plus Walking Dead. Regarding scare zones, I think we're gonna have the 3 in the upper lot, which are the ones by the entrance, and we have the ones on French and Baker Street. We might not be getting a scare zone in the lower lot again like we did it last year, but backlot scare zone will definitely return. So I say we're getting at least 4 scare zones and 6 mazes.
All right. Awesome. Personally, I believe I'm going to say probably 6 mazes this year. I don't know exactly where, but we've also rumored that one could be in Waterworld, because there's a lot of space in there, and there could be some maze back behind the bleachers, somewhere behind that big fence that's there. So I think we're going to have 6 mazes, not including the Walking Dead attraction, which will be open during the event. So, Clarence?
Of course, we're going to be getting 6 or 7 mazes, not counting The Walking Dead. We are going to be having 5 scare zones, like usual. And yeah.
Awesome. All right, and we're gonna move on to Alvin right now.
Yeah, I really don't care how many mazes we're getting, just as long as we're not gonna pull a Singapore and only have 3 mazes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
We'll have the same.
Okay. Well, yeah, 3 mazes is not very much, but then again, like, John Murdy's here, so, like, I guess we can...
3 mazes ain't jack.
Yeah,
Exorcist, Walking Dead, and the Monkey Demon Mains, guys.
Yeah, I think at this point it's been confirmed that My Little Pony and Monkey Demons are coming to the event.
Yes, that Unfriended Maze 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I know.
My
Michael said this movie.
If you guys don't know...
Scooby-Doo 3D.
Guys,
come
did
on,
you guys
guys.
hear about the stinky feet maze?
Yeah, why aren't you
I
guys
am
talking about the
so
stinky foot?
pumped.
Yeah.
I'm down for the stinky foot.
All right.
Down for
It's gonna
anything.
smell. It's gonna
Okay,
smell.
stop. Okay,
Yes.
if you guys don't know what we're talking about,
3D.
you guys should go check out at HHN Squad on Twitter. John Murdy did respond to a tweet of ours, and apparently said that there was Mike ALO and John Murdy were spending time watching My Little Pony mazes, and Alvin has pretty much confirmed.
Yeah, they were watching My Little Pony mazes. Yes, of course.
Yes, of
His
course.
daughter is actually going to be developing the maze. I'm pretty excited for that.
Yep. All right. Anyway, back on the
molester.
back on a serious track. We're gonna get into JoJo's next question, and that is: are we getting clowns this year? Now, I'm gonna jump on this and say they're not. Oh.
I'd like to jump on this in a minute too, please.
Okay. Hold on. Alvin, you can get to it last. Clowns is never going to leave the event. There's going to be some remnants of clowns somewhere. Do I think it's going to be this year? No. We've had a lot of clowns scare zones, different ways, different forms. We've had a lot of we've had the clowns maze at 2013? Yeah, 2013 we got the clowns maze. No, 2014 we got the clowns maze. Sorry. And that was that was, you know, no matter your opinions on that, it was made. So
it was crap.
clowns did come to the event. There will probably be another clowns scare zone or maze in the future. I just don't know what. This year, probably not.
Killer clowns in outer space, maybe.
I think maybe in the future, but I don't know about this year.
The closest we're getting to clowns this year is the Jabberwocky.
And apparently Jose is in the tunnel right now.
Yeah, Jose, your audio is going a little out. I don't know what's happening. You muted yourself and then you kind of went mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said the closest we're gonna have to clowns this year is the Jabberwockies.
Okay. Wow. We just okay.
By the way, Jabberwockies. Okay, I'm gonna go on an all-out rant over Jabberwockies.
Let's not.
So,
Let's do it.
No. Let's.
Fine. Let's do it.
Can I take the time to go on an all-out rant? I'm gonna lower my.
I will time you. You have 5 minutes to go on a rant.
Right 5 minutes, okay? Gage, hey, what's up? I'm about to go on an all-out rant on Jabberwockies.
Jalvin's about to go off. He's about to go ham.
All right,
So,
everybody
Jab-
mute yourself except
all
for
right.
Alvin. He's gonna go off on the Jabberwockies, and then we're gonna get back to our regular scheduled programming.
Yeah.
Thank
Gage is here.
Wait, what
We also
happened?
have to talk
how
about
What
loud am
happened?
we got
Wait,
some.
do I have-
We have some.
Do I have to lower my volume right now?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
I'm so
So,
confused.
if you guys haven't heard yet, Jabberwockies again accidentally confirmed that they are coming back to HHN. Like, someone tweeted them, "Will you be coming back to HHN?" And Jabberwockies were like, "Well, maybe." Really? Really? Okay, hold up. This is the third goddamn time you've been doing this. Like the first time last year, on an Instagram post they put hashtag HHN on their Instagram post, and I'm like, okay, I'll let that slip. They did it a second time. No, wait, hold up. This year they did it a second time. Like the first time, I'll let that slip. But the second time, second time, god damn it, you guys. Like, geez, like wait for you to like officially get announced. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one getting pissed off by the fact that they can't keep their mouth shut for the third goddamn time. Okay, continue with your.
It's not like
It's
anybody really cares
Jabberwockies,
anyway.
come on. It's
Nobody cares
Jabberwockies,
anyway.
Like,
I don't gonna lie, bro.
All right, everybody put in the comments below because we're going to start uploading different types of videos, not just podcasts on this channel. So we're going to start uploading different types of videos. And would you like to see a creepy carpy rant video coming out weekly? Now, if you guys would like that, please put that in the comments and we'll take down a vote.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure that'll happen regardless.
Come on.
All right, so now we're gonna get on into our next. Actually, does anybody else have any more opinions on clowns coming to the event this year?
oh god, clowns? Hell yeah.
All right,
Are they gonna be? Are they gonna be demon clowns?
demon clowns or zombie clowns?
Is
Dude, I
it
love
gonna be
demon
that
and
specific,
zombie
or are they
clowns.
just clowns?
zombie clowns? Like, I'd really
Zombie
like
clowns
that.
or demon clowns? I
Dude.
kind of want to see that.
Demon
I'd like
clowns
to
would be
talk
pretty
to-
scary. I mean, like, dang.
I don't know, man. I'm more on the side of zombie clowns. Like, if you get bit by them, you
Like-
might turn into a zombie clown.
What is a demon clown?
Like in zombie land.
Oh yeah, I mean, zombie clowns would be
Yeah, we're gonna get Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. I'd like a Joker scare zone just
Or-
saying that out loud, like to promote Suicide Squad. I'm legit. Let's create a petition,
yeah.
guys. Create a
Oh, yeah,
petition for
guys.
a Suicide Squad scare zone.
Why can't we just all agree to have a demon clown versus a zombie clown maze?
Oh,
that would be
that's
great.
It's like
clever.
Freddy versus Jason.
Like,
It's demons
no, we
versus
could
like.
ditch Freddy versus Jason just for zombie clowns versus demon clowns. You know.
That sounds
But
like
I'm more into that
3D.
Suicide Squad.
3D.
Harley Quinn go-go dancer.
Yup. All right.
Someone asked me for this is the end 3D rant. I'm into that.
Okay. Well, no matter what happens, clowns. I don't know if I could handle more of Alvin ranting on Jabberwockies if they're announced, but if they do, it's gonna be entertaining.
Can I just say something about if the Jabberwockies returning?
Yeah.
They are returning.
I think that, well, yeah, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, like they should think of something creative for once and not just copy the same exact show from Vegas like they did last year. They should think of something creative, kind of like a Purge theme, because I think a Purge theme would be pretty cool because they already have the mask and everything.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Just chilling here until you're done.
All crime is legal. Dance is out on the street.
Yeah. I wish this year I think the number one complaint from last year with most people was it was not Halloween related enough. That first opening dance was Halloween related, but otherwise it was too different. So that's what I would hope for. I enjoyed the show. Was it really a good fit for Halloween Horror Nights? I don't know, but if they could make it fit more with the event, then I'm all down for them.
I feel another rant tingling right now against the kids that just go to HHN for the Jabberwockies show. Like I've
All right,
seen.
that can be
I've
another
seen
video.
How do we get another video? How do you get past the scary
All right,
part?
all right.
The
All right.
Jabberwockies.
That can be
Well-
another video, guys.
We're honestly not gonna lie about this. I fell asleep the first time I saw the Jabberwocky show. So.
Oh wow,
Oh
wow.
my god, that was savage.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our next question before anybody else freaks out. Okay, so we're gonna move on to. Do we have any more questions?
We do.
All
We have.
right. Well, that looks like it was our last question. Let's see if we
No,
have
we
any
have-
questions through
have-
YouTube.
We have one more question.
Ooh, okay.
Because
Oh,
I
so
know the likelihood chance of this happening is like really low, but just after what has been happening recently, I'm not.
all right, we're gonna
After
move
all
on.
the hate I've been
In the
getting,
meanwhile, we're gonna
believe-
confirm Zombie Clowns versus Demon Clowns is coming to the event. So you guys better be excited. It's gonna be in 3D and the music is gonna be by Nickelback. So you guys better be excited for this.
Yes, I've
This is gonna
always
be
wanted
lit,
that.
All right.
The
Okay, we're gonna
Nickelback
get back on track with our schedule.
Who left? Oh, Jose.
Because we're about to end this in about a few minutes, but we have some questions from YouTube. All right, so HHN Assassin, we talked about our favorite IPs. I think mine was AVP. Everyone just go over their number one on their list again.
An American Werewolf in London.
Wait, does a legend count as an intellectual property?
Oh no, so
Okay.
pick your number two.
Number 2, Dracula Untold, which is actually that's not my favorite IP. My favorite IP would either have to be House of a Thousand Corpses or Evil Dead or Saw. Either of those 3.
Very cool. Clarence.
I'm sorry, it was laggy first time. What was it? Number one maze?
Yeah, number one IP.
Okay. I don't know. I liked Insidious.
Insidious is great. Gage. I think you're muted, Gage, so you probably want to.
There we go.
Right when I muted myself.
Man, I don't know. Favorite favorite IP. I don't know. Insidious probably because that was scary as hell.
All right. Yeah, that was good. So that's 2 for Insidious. Meatloaf.
Sorry. Still has to be an American Werewolf in London, I guess. I don't really know if that's an IP or not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, then yeah, I guess just that. If we were talking about like an entire series, then I guess Insidious. I really liked Insidious.
Awesome. And Jose.
Maze wise, Halloween, but we all know it's gonna get topped this year by The Exorcist. So
Yep. All right. So we have another question from HHN Assassin. Do you think Hollywood could get an icon again? And when you say again, I'm not really exactly sure what you mean by again, because we really haven't had an official icon.
what we did in 2007 with Jack the Clown.
Clowns. Jack the Ripper. It's confirmed. Or Jack the Clown. Jack the Ripper. What the fuck?
Yeah, but
That
on
would be
it,
really cool. It would make sense because now that Chance is at Orlando, but he also, John Murdy just tweeted out today that Jack likes staying in Orlando. So I think we're gonna. I do think there's going to be a possibility. I don't know when. I don't really think we could even speculate about that.
in my opinion, we're not gonna get an icon while Murdy's still around. He really doesn't like getting into like icons and stuff and like kind of developing a whole central theme into the event. If you guys have noticed, Hollywood has been just random stuff thrown together over the past couple years. So personally, I believe that under Murdy, we won't be getting an icon anytime soon.
Okay. Clarence, did you have any comments on that?
Uh,
Oh, okay. All right, Alvin, Gage, Meatloaf, icons.
Well, I don't know because Jack has been an icon for HHN Hollywood before, and he even had his own Terror Tram, I think, back in 2007. So I don't know. I see why not would he come back to Hollywood, but maybe he hates Hollywood. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason why he wants to stay in Orlando.
I totally did not even know that Jack came to.
You know, he did.
I thought it was just the director.
Yeah, I thought it was the director like in 2006. But
Wait, when did Jack come? What year?
He came in
2007.
2007.
Oh yeah.
Something every day.
See, I think it'd be cool if Jack the Clown came back this year, or like if he came to Hollywood this year. But I mean, because I don't really think that there could be any other icon for Hollywood that would like, make sense unless they create something original. So that's what I think. Like I said, I think it'd be cool, especially because there's talk about clowns coming. And if you made an original concept for the Terror Tram, it'd be cool if that like had something to play in it. So that's what I think. Well, that's what I think would be cool to have.
All right. I have a question for the audience now. Because Party Like Cena has. I just have a quick question. If Party Like Cena is still watching, could you tell me what your Twitter handle is, just out of curiosity? And also, the question that this person asked is, do you think we will get a new female Ghostbusters movie as a maze? I'm going to say no, because Murdy does try to stick with movies that are really critically
Good.
audience received. And I already, before the movie has even come out, it's one of the most disliked movie trailers.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That YouTube video, dang.
I mean,
Most.
it's because the ghosts are neon. It could work, but something not for HHN because it could bring the hate to the event as well. I mean, there's already an experience out just for the Ghostbusters female remake experience in New York somewhere where apparently you get like catch ghosts through the Oculus Rift in like a simulated set or something like that, and it's already getting hate on that video. So I could already see if HHN does an announcement video for the Ghostbusters remake, it could potentially bring a lot of hate both to the video and to the event itself.
I think that as far as like I think that as far as like the maze, like as it being a maze goes, I don't think it'd be like a good idea for HHN to think or to make it a maze in the future, even if it's not this year, if it's like next year even. I don't think it'd be that good of an idea, especially because, like you guys said, it's not that much liked as a film, and I personally didn't like the trailer, so I don't think that it'd be a smart idea. I think that like Zombieland or something, even like an older film, kind of like This Is the End, like something like that type of comedy maze would be better.
Yep.
I feel like they'd have a maze if it was original guys, but not at all for the women. But I'm pretty sure the licensing for the guys is dead, so that sucks.
I don't think we'll get a maze based on Ghostbusters, the remake, just for like some of the reasons you guys have been saying. Honestly, like the trailer does look pretty bad, but I think the whole opinion on the film will change once it comes out because I honestly don't think it will be a bad film, and I think people will actually end up loving it. Paul Feig's a very good director, so I think he'll actually do a pretty good job with the film. But aside from that, just for some of those reasons and stuff, I don't think we're going to be seeing a maze based on the Ghostbusters remake. Although maybe if it's successful enough, maybe sometime down the line if we get a sequel, and like I said, if this film ends up being well received after it opens, but as of right now, not really.
Yeah, there is going to be a sequel for the Ghostbusters movie, it's confirmed. And I've actually read the spoilers for both movies, and let me just tell you, I really don't think you guys want to hear it.
I don't think we should do it live since there probably
Yeah,
are.
I'm not. I'm just going to say that you guys really do not want to hear it.
All right. Okay, so I really don't want to hear it, so we probably shouldn't say it. Right. Okay, so we have another question. Oh wait, sorry. Does anybody else have any more comments on Ghostbusters?
Uh, you know, I've been a fan of Ghostbusters. I would always watch that when I was a kid, that and Star Wars, and I have to say that the jokes so far in the trailer do not land. I did look at the script just like Alvin did. So far it's not looking that great, and it's not that they're all females. I don't have anything against that. It's just it's just what
Triggered.
they did. You know, it's not great of a movie at all so far.
Yep. All right. So we have another question from Haunt Justin or Justine12. So their question is least favorite IP. I think a lot of
Walking Dead.
really.
No,
Why do you-
no, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
This is the end, hands down.
all right.
That's actually on my medium, or third to least favorite actually.
What's
I
your
gotta think about my least favorite.
All right, all of you guys think about that.
Should I just go or?
Yeah.
For me, it has to be Aliens versus Predators. I love Aliens versus Predators. Don't get me wrong. The maze I did not like at all. I felt like it was for some reason like on Earth for a lot of it, which I didn't really understand. It wasn't very scary at all. Like at one point when I did go in, the lights were all on for some reason, so I think that ruined the experience for me. And the fact that they kept it for 2 years in a row and changed literally nothing about it just felt kind of lazy, and I just did not care for it.
All right.
Yeah, I think that my least favorite, if I give it some thought, I mean, This Is the End was pretty bad, but I think that Alien vs. Predator was worse just because it was cool. Like the sets were cool, the costumes were cool, but the scares weren't there. And the times that I went through, they're just I just didn't get scared a lot. You know, their scare actors didn't really do that much. The times I went through, at least last year, so it just didn't really feel interactive. Kind of just felt like you were walking through different sets. That's how it felt for me. So.
Yep. I think my least favorite. I think it would actually. Gosh, this is hard because when it comes down to least favorite IP, I don't know how I could answer this. I could answer it least favorite maze based off of IP or least favorite IP in general that's come to the event. I'm gonna take it as maze. So I didn't like Silent Hill, with Orlando's or Hollywood's. I thought it was actually, to be honest, a really boring maze. Just the from the POVs I've seen, it just looks boring. It's very bland. There wasn't very much put into it. I feel like it was just kind of empty, and it was John Murray's last thing that he worked on. Personally, I didn't really like it. Then again, I'm not a huge Silent Hill fan in general, but I just didn't really enjoy the maze. So yeah,
This is very concerning me.
I know. I knew you wouldn't like that very much. It's just I don't
No, it's
really.
cool.
I just it just seemed pretty boring to me. I don't know.
The thing about Silent Hill is I never got to go into it, so from all the walkthroughs I saw, I recognized it by the game because the movies were absolutely horrible. Like I couldn't even finish the second one. Like they were horrible, and I'm pretty sure they were based off the movies and not as much the games. But as I never went into it, and I only really liked the games, I just kind of liked it.
Honestly, from experience going through it, actually, I know it gets a lot of hate, but I personally liked it. It wasn't really that bad. Like some of the sets were pretty weak and stuff, and the smells were really strong in some scenes. But the costumes were actually pretty darn cool. Like the nurses looked pretty realistic, and Pyramid Head was one of the coolest things I'd seen at the event from that point. So it was just I really liked it for the costumes and stuff. Some of the scares were actually pretty good in that one as well. So I actually kind of really did like Silent Hill, but I can understand where you guys are coming from with a lot of the weak points it had in the maze because it did have a lot of weak points in it.
Yeah. Anybody
Should
else
I?
favorite? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gage.
I was gonna ask if after you were done saying if anybody else didn't have like a least favorite IP, I was gonna ask a question, just a
All
question that
right.
just popped in my head.
All right. Quick question we can ask right after. Does anybody else want to talk about their least favorite IP?
He didn't specify whether least favorite IP applies for both mazes and scare zone, but for least favorite IP for a scare zone, I would have to say, hold on. Oh, really? I just forgot it. Hold up. Give me a second. Okay, Gage, you could ask your question, and then maybe you guys could go back right back to me.
All right, Gage, you can go ahead and ask your question.
All right. So me personally, being a fan of like The Purge, the movies, the Purge movies, with the new movie coming out this year, The Purge election year, do you guys think that they're gonna do you guys personally think that they're gonna bring back The Purge to Halloween Horror Nights this year as like a maze instead of the Terror Tram, or like as another scare zone? Because I personally think that they're gonna bring it back as a maze, but I don't know.
Scare zone.
Scare zone
You
for
think
me.
scare zone?
My
Scare
headset
zone.
cut out a lot. What was the question? Sorry.
Duh.
Purge
I was
returning.
just I was asking, since the new Purge movie's coming out, the Purge election year this year, do you think that there's going to be a maze or another scare zone for the Purge this year?
Scare zone for sure. I'm willing to bet money on that.
Yeah.
That's an expression. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a scare zone.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be
that's
willing
what
to say. Oh, go ahead.
that's what I thought. I thought I knew it would either come back as a maze or a scare zone. I knew it was going to come back in this year because it was the scare zone was great last year. The Terror Tram wasn't that good last year. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't like amazing. So I thought that since Orlando's maze was a good hit, like a big hit, that they would bring it back as a maze. But I don't know. I know it'll come back as a scare zone for sure.
Yeah, I'd be willing to say maybe even multiple scare zones, but that's something to look into when the time comes.
Yeah, I would personally really like to see a Purge maze. I'm confused. I don't know if it could be this year. I would love to see it, but for some reason I'm being held back from saying that it could be a maze this year.
I'd really like to see that Statue of Liberty scare actor. I don't know about you guys with the I think it's called EL light or
Like the
something like
neon
that.
lights. Yeah, that'd be freaking
Yeah.
insane to see.
That thing's cool.
They had a couple masks in the trailer for this new movie that were like neon, and they had just a bunch of really cool designs for the masks, kind of like Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the trailer, I think the first trailer for election year really reminded me of Terror Tram. Like, I saw
Yeah.
scenes that looked like it was from, whoa, what was that?
I said yeah.
Oh, okay, that scared me because my ears. Okay, yeah, it looked like it was straight from Terror Tram with the like guy hanging and then there were like
Mhm.
people like dancing around it.
That's why I was so shocked because I saw that thing where the bodies were hanging from the tree. I'm like, that literally looks like they wrote the scene for the Terror Tram, which is why I'm so confused to why it can't be the Terror Tram. But then again, I'm also so confused why Jurassic Park couldn't be Krampus. But whatever.
What is the Terror Tram going to be this year? That's what I'm confused on. If it's an original concept, I don't know if it's going to be like off of like Exterminators from last year since that was a big hit, or if it's going to be based off of Scare Zone, or what in the world is it going to be?
People say it's going to be based off of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Ed Gein or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but
It's
isn't it like
apparently an
supposed to be like an
original
original
concept.
concept?
Yeah, but people
Yeah.
say it's probably going to be like an original take on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, either that or Ed Gein. I don't know. But Murdy, someone asked Murdy on Twitter asking Texas Chainsaw Massacre original take as Terror Tram, and Murdy replied with nice try, thanks for playing, or something like that.
Yep.
So the league lineup may be wrong, or maybe Murdy took that the wrong way, but I don't know.
I think it'd be cool to see it, to see the Terror Tram go with like a scare zone that was a big hit within the past few years, kind of like Exterminators. Like that would be pretty cool to see because that was a big hit last year. Or incorporate the clowns. Like what if the clowns was a Terror Tram? That'd be pretty cool to incorporate the clowns into that. I mean, there's a lot of original concepts you could do. It's just really confusing because there's so many.
Mhm. I think all of us are really confused on uh the Jurassic Park queue. I know there was also another thing that said um there could be what was it? Texas Chainsaw. Alex from HHN Fanboy said that Texas Chainsaw could be coming to the Jurassic Park queue, and I don't think that that it looks like it personally for the Jurassic Park queue, but I wouldn't totally throw out the idea of Texas Chainsaw coming to the event. I think it's weird that they wouldn't announce it along with Orlando, but I wouldn't throw out the idea.
Regarding that Texas Chainsaw at the event, maybe stuff wasn't confirmed yet. Maybe Moody didn't know that he was going to do Texas Chainsaw yet, so that might just be the reason he didn't announce it when Orlando announced their Texas Chainsaw maze. But who knows?
Yeah. All right. So, any more questions before we move on? Because I think we're about to wrap up these questions. No? All right. Jose, we have something. Jose wants to talk about something. So.
All right. Before we end this podcast, there's something I wish to address. Recently, a slur of tragedy has affected our brothers over at Orlando. The Pulse nightclub shooting is a horrific and tragic incident in which many lost their lives. It hurts me to know that some people in this community have taken it as a joke and wish to declare this kind of behavior that does not in any way represent this peaceful community or this group. I would like to ask for a moment of silence and remembrance of those who unfortunately lost their lives. Thank you very much.
Kind of shocking because, like, the shooter actually turned out to be gay himself. So apparently it wasn't.
I personally had a good friend who got lost in that, so it's just difficult. It's weird. Yeah, it's just hard to believe that, like 1 second, everything's fine, and then like the next second it's gone. And then, everything that's happened within this past week, all 3 tragic events. So you had Chrissy Gimme, she got shot at one of her meet and greet meetups. We had that terrorist attack in the club, and then we had a little boy who got attacked by an alligator at Disney World. So 3 events that literally took place within a 50-mile radius from each other in Orlando. It just shows you that all these things could happen so quickly, and they could happen right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
It just sucks that we have to live in a constant state of fear as a society, and we don't even feel safe in our own homes or in society. Literally everywhere we walk, there's the chance that you could die.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's I don't know what to say about it. It's something that we really need to address more in the future, and I'm really sorry for all the victims, and I'm sorry for the families of the victims. It's a really tragic event, and I hope every day that nothing like this can ever happen again.
They did it a second time. Like the first time, I'll let that slip.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna.
Whoa! What's going on there?
That was
Some
Alvin.
loose
Yeah.
audio.
I thought I was disrespecting the entire thing, but then I realized I'm not talking.
Yeah. All right. So okay. Well, I'm gonna wrap this whole thing up. I want to thank you all for watching this first episode of what are we calling this again? HHN Squad Updating the Fear, Episode 1. Thank you for watching this. This is Thursday,
Thanks, guys.
June 16th. Thank you for watching all of this. And this is the HHN Squad, and I would like to once again repeat our panel. We have Creepy Carpy, Clarence, Gage, HHN Meatloaf, Thrill Seeker Network, and me, the PMV Productions. So thank you again for watching this, and we will see you in our next podcast. So follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content from the best things of Halloween Horror Nights. So thank you for watching, and this is HHN Squad signing out.
Bye.